Hey, everybody. Welcome to How to Generate a Flood of Leads for Your Automotive Business with SEO in 2017. This webinar is obviously targeting automotive car dealers, small automotive parts dealers, service centers, and the like. But really the focus here is for dealers and used car dealerships to try and drive more ups to their dealership floor and do it as efficiently and effectively as possible. Without doing anything technical or spending big cash on methods that flat out don't work. Really what we're going to be going over today is I'm hopefully going to teach you guys some things that you don't know. I'm going to be doing this by showing what I think are the three most critical SEO strategies that you can start using right away and that will help you to absolutely crush your competition and hopefully become the go-to car dealer in your area. So the first question you're probably asking is, who is this guy? Well, who am I? My name is Adam Roseland. That's me on the top right. That's me and my family down on a recent Washington, D.C. trip, catching a soccer game, believe it or not. I've got a wife, Amy, and 3 children, and we've been living in the Philadelphia area all my life, and I love those people and love everything about what I do. So I told you who I am a little bit. I'm the founder of 814 Interactive, 814 Interactive. The concept is my number is 8, my wife's is 14. She played in college, so we kind of just came up with a silly, goofy type of name for my business. So there's no brilliant scheme behind it. It's just numbers that we like. I've been in the digital marketing space for about 15 years. I'm 42 years old. I've done a heck of a lot of different things, different businesses, but I've been specifically in the digital marketing space for 15 years and have become known as the SEO guy. I do a lot of homework on my side, and I'm Google AdWords and Google Analytics certified. But really what I've done over the past number of years is really focused on SEO and how to get more from less. Because at the end of the day, you can always spend a ton of money on radio, on TV, on cable, direct mail and the like, and now digital. But how can you do it efficiently? How can you get the most traffic to your site and obviously more ups without spending a fortune doing so? So I've worked with over 100 different businesses to help them establish a simple and bulletproof online presence and a simple way to dominate the local competition. So here's what you'll be learning during this presentation today. The first and most important thing that we want to do is we want to get in front of people by getting to the top of Google search listings, so that you can find people that have high buyer intent. There's a running joke about SEO. It's where do you hide a dead body, and it's the best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google, because absolutely nobody will ever find you there. If you happen to click on to page 2, you really found absolutely nothing in page 1, which is really sad. But when somebody's looking for a car dealership, there's always going to be somebody on page 1. So the absolute last thing you want to do is be on page 2. And then, of course, we're going to talk about how to Google-proof your business so that you stay at the top without ever worrying about any panda, penguin, or any kind of animal slap. We want to make sure that we stay on the top of the search engines and we flat out dominate our local market. But the only way to do there is to Google-proof your business. And to do so, what we're going to really focus on is how to choose the right keywords that we're going to target that will get you the quickest results. The best part is nobody's doing this, and if they are, very few people are doing this. Typically, people have a bad idea on how to do SEO because they've been told how to do it by their ad agency, and their ad agency is usually quite wrong. And so what we're going to discuss is the new way to do SEO that works in 2017 and beyond. So the real question from here is why this is important to you now. Again, as I just mentioned, most of what we've learned about SEO in the past is dead wrong. Ad agencies love to tell you, there are certain ways to do business, and we're going to counteract those today. But we've been told to keep going through the motions so that Google loves us, and at the end of the day, we do need to be loved by Google. But there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, and most people are just spending a fortune every single month doing it absolutely wrong. And look, we know the competition is stiff. We know that our competitors are out there spending just as much money, if not more, as we are. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is not only dominate for our brand. If you're a Kia dealership, you got other Kia dealers in your market area. But we also have to worry about the Chevy dealership, the Ford dealership, the Toyota dealership, Mitsubishi, Mazda. All these guys are trying to eat our lunch, and we need to make sure that we're beating them off. And the best way to do it is when somebody does a search to be number one. So that's why our keyword strategy has evolved. It's changed into a more specific, more direct route. When somebody's going on to Google nowadays, they don't just type in car dealer. They know what they're doing. They're shopping. Most of the shopping's done online. You guys know this, and so we need to make sure that our keyword strategy is the right one. And again, the problem is most agencies are still a one-size-fits-all approach to doing SEO for their clients, and that just doesn't work. You have to have a custom SEO plan, and it's got to be dedicated to your dealership, not one that's dedicated to Ford, one that's dedicated to Kia, one that's dedicated to Hyundai, Toyota, etc. We need to make sure it works for you. So right about now, you're probably thinking, wow, is this webinar the right thing for me? Am I really willing to invest the next half hour of my time to listen to this guy talk about SEO and digital marketing, and is it worth my time? So if you're an automotive business and you want to absolutely dominate your local search rankings and get in front of prospects, well then yeah, this is for you. If you want more leads and want to convert them to customers, this is for you. Getting a lot of phone calls, getting a lot of traffic to your website, a lot of ups on the dealership floor is only so great if they end up buying. I mean, who wants to say, oh yeah, I got 10,000 visitors to my site, but we only sold 30 cars this month? That just doesn't work. We got to crush it. If you want to take your business to the next level, which I know you guys, I know you do. You wouldn't be on this call if you didn't. So I know this is for you because of that. And again, if you want, if you want to be an alpha player in your market, if you want to be the guy that when we're doing the roundup calls that we talk about, when the regional manager comes around and starts talking to dealerships, do they want you to be the guy that's talked about, or do you want to be the guy that's talked about, or do you want to hear about the dealer that's 50 miles away from you that's eating your lunch and how great they're doing and all the tactics they're doing? Nobody wants to hear that. You want to be the alpha player, so let's do this. And sorry about that. I am human. I obviously already typed that part in. But if you're tired of not seeing any results with SEO, or you don't want any of the high-priced SEO agencies scamming you month after month after month, I've been there. I've done that. I used to work for one. I know how the game is played. If you're tired of that, this is for you. And if you're worried about not being able to generate a steady stream of leads for your business month after month with absolute certainty, this is for you. Now, I know, guys, I know the cycle. I've dealt with too many GMs and dealer principals that have, that have said, oh, yeah, I'm crushing it this month. And I come back and check them 2 months later, and, and it's crickets on the dealership floor. You know how it is. You've been there. You've been saying, what the hell's going on? I just did a direct mail piece, and the phones aren't ringing. Nobody's showing up. What's going on? If you want to get rid of that situation, if you want to know month after month after month exactly what kind of leads you're going to be getting to your business, how much you're going to be crushing it, this is absolutely for you. So if this seems like it's the right idea for you so far, just go ahead and hit the chat button and just put in a 1. Let me know what you're feeling. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey guys, look, you are not alone. That's the cool thing about this is, there's a bunch of people on this call right now that are suffering through the same thing. I know you guys get in your 20 groups and you talk about this stuff, but you're not the only one. There might be a couple guys that have figured it out, but for the most part, people are trying to, spin their wheels trying to figure out the most efficient way to do this. And and hey, look, we're going to help you solve that problem today. So who is this not for? I want to make sure that we're very clear. And again, if you're looking for somebody that's going to come in and do a black hat trick or gray hat trick, you may not even know what these are called. But if you're looking for somebody that's going to flat out game Google, if they're going to try and fix your site and just throw keywords in where you can't be seen, or if you're trying to look for something that's going to give you overnight results, if you're looking for something that is not the way that we treat Google properly, then this isn't for you. We're here to play the system the right way. We're trying to make sure that everything goes the right way. Google's more intelligent than all of us. At last count, I think they have over 2,000 PhDs working to make sure that we do it right. So we want to do it right. We do not want to get slapped. We do not want to end up saying, hey, yeah, I had a great January, February, March, but April comes around and we're de-indexed. That is the absolute last thing we want to do. So we want to avoid that. So again, let me tell you exactly how I came up with this system, because I think it's important to understand why I'm talking to you today. Other than just saying, hey, look, I've been in the agency. I want to tell you a little bit about my early days. Like I said, I've been in the digital marketing industry since 2002. I've seen a lot of people have success and a lot of people fail. I started out working with a full-service ad agency, and look, I cut my teeth there. It was great. I learned a heck of a lot. And the people were smart, really smart owners of the agency, and they knew how to take care of their clients. But I quickly realized that they were screwing their clients. They're driving around in $80,000, $90,000 cars, and pulling in half days sometimes, just because they knew they were taking full advantage of their clients. And it wasn't ever about, hey, how much does this cost and how do we mark it up, 10, 15%, and then, package it to the client. It was all about how much they could pay. So if somebody was looking for a website, it wasn't like, hey, this is what they want and it's going to cost us $15,000. It was, how much is their budget? And then we'll determine the pricing. And, quite frankly, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm here to deliver a service that's efficient, but more importantly, it's affordable. So, if you guys are starting to worry like, oh, is this going to cost me a lot of money? First of all, everything you learn today is going to be free. There's no obligation to do anything in any way, shape, or form with me. If you want to talk after this webinar, we can certainly do that. But I'm here to try and educate. I've learned very quickly that the best way to help people is to be a resource, and then they refer me business, and that's why I get plenty of business already. So if we never do business and I'm only a resource to you, that's quite frankly quite good by me. But again, going back to this agency stuff, it flat out pissed me off. It's not the way to take care of customers. That, when you get somebody into the dealership floor, if you're only trying to think about how you can screw them over, it's a really bad business plan in the long run. And that's what these guys were doing. They were taking advantage of every single client that they had. And it's great while they're lasting, but, at the end of the day, I'm a sales guy. When I first started, I was a salesperson, and, having clients churn very quickly because we came in, we provided a nice solution, but we screwed them over big time on the pricing and fully took advantage. That's not cool by me. And so I want to make sure that we completely do the right thing by you guys. So obviously, what I did was I quit the agency. I started out on my own with a friend that was also working in the agency, and he was on the digital the design and development side. He had the idea if you simply build a website, they will come. Based on his years of being a website and designer and developer, that's what he thought really worked. But it doesn't really work that way. His focus was it needs to look pretty. Quite frankly, the lesson I learned very quickly was if we're not doing any kind of specific targeting, we're not getting any traffic. And so it was a very brutal life lesson that I learned very quickly. But, again, it's important that we learn that very quickly and move on from there. So business kind of sucked for us, and we did it for a couple years. It just quite frankly didn't work out. So it was time to venture out solo. I decided to separate from him and start my own thing. So I was excited. I was young. I was, there's young, dumb, and other things they like to say. But, this is really what it was all about. I was going to figure out how to get this done on my own. I knew I was determined. I had no problem putting in an 80 to 90-hour work week. If nothing else, I was going to grind for my clients, and I was going to get results. And so it was scary as hell. I'm not going to lie. As you can see, I have a pretty young family, and moving out on my own, I wanted to make sure that I could support them, the mortgage, the car payments. You guys know that feeling. It's brutal when you don't know where your money's coming from, and that's kind of why you're here now. Is you're looking for a solution that's steady, and so I was too. I was tired of when you deal with websites, it's kind of big hits every once in a while, and then it's you're living off that hit for a little while, and you're wondering when the next revenue's coming in, and I needed something more steady. So I wanted to make sure I was doing right by my clients, and I didn't know if I had the right resources or the guts to do it alone. But I was going to go out and try. And thank God for my wife; she was super supportive, and she let me jump out there. And she's a teacher, so I was able to benefit from her insurance. So I had some freedom to do things, but it was scary as hell. And I just kept at it. I knew that eventually, my determination, I was smart enough. I was going to make this right and find the best way to work for myself, but the only way to have success as an agency is to get client success. And so, the other side came. It was, we started generating some traffic, not just for me, but also for my clients, obviously. This took months and months of fine tuning and optimizing, which is, in my world, it's called split testing. It's, you put an ad up and, you put a secondary ad up and you see which one gets more traffic and more conversions. And then you test again and you test again and you test again. And slowly what you're doing is you're becoming more efficient and effective. And you're finding ways to lower your costs. So if you find that you put an ad up and you get 100 visits for $100, and then you put another ad up and it gets $100 or 100 visits for $75, well, winner chicken dinner, And then when you take that $75 and you put a variation of that, and you see if you can again fine tune that pricing and get it lower and lower and lower. And the numbers were low at first. The traffic numbers weren't where I needed them to be, but it certainly improved. And so I really decided, hey, let's jump in full tilt on this. Let's commit to learning real marketing instead of gimmicks. I don't want to be the guy that's trying to game Google. I want to do things the right way, but I want to do it in the quickest and easiest way possible. So. The realization hit. It was it's simple that SEO isn't as complicated as it is made out to be. A lot of guys will tell you that SEO needs to be done a certain way, and you don't have the intelligence. Quite frankly, I'm here to tell you you can do it. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do SEO every single day, and I'm going to let you figure it out whether you want to do it internally or whether you want to use an agency or just keep them on their toes. This is what works, and again, if you choose to do it on your own, Godspeed, I think you can, because I want to lay everything out here that you can do this on your own if you have the time and the effort and the interest in doing it. So let's talk about the 3 key pillars of SEO. And I apologize, guys. I know I talk fast. If I'm moving fast, if I'm moving too fast, I will try and make a recording of this available so you can go at it on your own. But really, I'm trying to be respectful of your time. I know that a lot of you guys are probably doing, a 30-minute lunch break and trying to gobble in as much information as you can before you get back out to the sales floor. And I know a lot of you guys have probably got, your sales guys coming in talking about, this guy or that guy is looking for a deal, and you want to focus on that stuff. So I'm trying to move through this quickly, and I'll try and be respectful of your time. So the 3 key pillars of SEO. The first is think local, not global. And we'll go into all these more specifically in a few minutes. But again, it's going to be really high-level stuff. Think local, not global. And then good old link building, doing it the right way. I think that the most important thing you can do is do good link building the right way the first time. If you always try and back into it, it's a lot harder. But it's a simple and easy way to get good quality links, and they don't have to be the types of links that these excuse me, links from amazing websites. Sometimes there's a lot of value in Google's eyes for websites that you may have never heard of. So the next thing is reputation management. And I know this goes into a lot of reviews and other things and what other folks are saying about you. And I'll tie into how important this is to SEO, but it's become really, really critical. So let's talk about the first one, which is pillar number 1, think local, not global. So why local? First off, because you're not targeting people from Mars. Really simply, we don't want to have to compete against the rest of the world. It's focusing on our pond, our local pond, and fishing where the fish are. And obviously, the best benefit of this is the cost is much lower this way. But more importantly, it's the competition is low. When you start working on a grand scale and you do regional marketing or national marketing, you're competing with everybody. And making sure that the right keywords that you're targeting are local is the critical part, because the odds are going to be better that you get a hit that way. When you're a Ford dealer in Philadelphia, if you're searching for Ford dealer, you're competing with every Ford dealer possibly across the country. If you type in Ford dealer Philadelphia, it's a lot easier to get your name in front of people. So It's common sense. People search local. If they're looking for a pizza place, if they're looking for a plumber, if they're looking for a car dealer, it's all going to be a local dealer that they're looking for. So let's talk about an example. I just said don't target generic terms like Kia dealer or used cars. I'm not saying to completely take those out of your keyword lists, but what we want to do is we want to dominate locally by targeting Kia dealer Philadelphia or used cars Springfield, PA. And I'm a Philly guy, so forgive me. Again, you're just considering your local market here, but we want to make sure that we target locally, and a lot of guys don't do this for SEO, believe it or not. They'll have it in their AdWords campaigns, but they're trying to be the top guys in the state, and they're trying to just flat out dominate. Oh, I want to dominate for Ford F-150. Well, and the reality of it is Ford is going to dominate for Ford F-150. What you want to do is when somebody's looking locally in your backyard for that Ford F-150, you want to find Ford F-150 Springfield. That's what somebody's going to be searching for. They're going to be looking for a couple dealerships close to you, and obviously you want to be one of those guys that gets hit. And hey, Google knows where searchers are, and half of the people are typing in their location anyway. So half people will type in Kia dealer, half the people will type in Kia dealer Philadelphia. Google's still going to pull up their results based on Kia dealer Philadelphia if that person's in Philadelphia. So you want to make sure that you target that way. And test it on your own. You'll completely see different results. I know that if I type in automotive SEO, I'm competing with everybody nationally. If I type in automotive SEO Philadelphia, I'm number one. I'm nowhere to be found on the national stage. And I don't want to be found on the national stage. I want to go in for local markets because people search local markets. And again, I'll show you the results on that. You can also test it on your own because you want to make sure I'm getting the results before you trust me with your dollars, or more importantly, if you trust me with this knowledge. You want to see that you're getting results or getting information from a smart guy. So what do? Again, start thinking in terms of local. Research all the local keywords that people are typing in. Go to Google's keyword tool. And again, if you don't know what these things are, just shoot me an email afterwards, and I'll be happy to give you a link to all the tools that we discuss here. And that way you can see exactly where to research these local keywords. But it's very simple to find out how many people are searching for your keywords in your area. And then obviously what we're going to do is build your SEO strategy around those very keywords. It's nothing that I'm not going to rock your world today, guys, and give you this pointer that you've never ever dreamt about. This is the blocking and tackling of marketing. When things aren't working right, a lot of guys try and figure out that bright shiny object. Well, it's usually not the bright shiny object. It's the it's the things that work best, that have always worked best, that we always want to go to. And some people try and outsmart the room, and they don't do the little things. And these are the little things that we want you to do. So we're going to have you zero in on your market. The best way to do that is use Google Analytics to target the exact demos of your market. Where are they coming from? Is it male, female? What kind of age groups? There's a lot of information in your Google Analytics that will help you to eliminate guesswork when you start targeting. And that way, what we can do is we can spend cash only on advertising that will get you results. I mean, what's the point of throwing good money after bad, right? What we want to do is we want to fund things that are bringing results to our dealership. When people are coming in based on a certain keyword, we want to just keep throwing money at that. I mean, it's simple, right? So this will flat out give you the best ROI possible, right? So hopefully you guys are getting this. Let me know if this is starting to make sense, if it's starting to click. Awesome. So again, to recap, what we're going to do is we're going to target local keywords and get in front of our local market. We don't want to play anything crazy. So, pillar number 2, good old link building. So, let's talk about real quick why links matter. And you may or may not know this, but when Google was built, it was about trying to find relevance for research papers. And the way they did this was they had a database of all these research papers, and when one person cited another article, they would give that kind of like a bonus point. And if 50 professors cited a certain article, well, that one article got a lot more street cred. So, basically Google's whole system is based on a popularity contest. And yes, unfortunately, it's high school all over again. Really, the more popularity, the better the dates, or more importantly, the higher the rank that you get. And obviously with high rank, we want to get some more traffic. But all links are not always created equal. And this is something that is really, really important for you guys to understand. What you don't need, as I talked about a little bit earlier, is a PR10. So PR10 is PageRank 10 links. And really what that means is when Google first started, they had a thing called PageRank. Larry Page was one of the co-founders, and he created it. It had a dual term, meaning it meant his name as in page, but it also made the website page ranking. And 10 was the best. And sites like Time.com and AOL.com and Google, obviously, were all page 10 links. But the trick here is that they understand that it's really, really impossible to get a link from Google. It's impossible, very difficult to get a link from New York Times or Huffington Post or anything like that. And so what they've done is they've tried to establish a credibility system. And what we can do is we can get much, much smaller websites that are good quality sites in Google's eyes to link to us and still have the effect of getting the results that we're looking for. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to get hundreds of thousands of those websites. We are still looking for quality and relevance over quantity, but at the end of the day, a number of PR3 websites linking to us versus one PR10 link is usually going to pay off, but they do have to be good quality links. So we'll dig deeper into that. But really what I want you to focus on is stop obsessing over getting these high quality, high authority links, because that's not really how Google's system is built up. They're really looking for a number of good friends rather than the coolest kid in school to like you. Now, again, if the coolest kid in school likes you, it's certainly awesome, but it's much better to have 50 friends that are pretty cool that play on the sports teams, or if they're they run with the cool crowd, rather than just the one coolest person in school to like you. So that's really what a lot of our system is built on. So any links in the beginning are going to be good. We want to really make sure that we establish to make sure that we have some links pointing to our website. And again, the more that we can focus on making good quality links, the better. But you only really need a few high quality links to dominate your competition, because most of these guys are doing it wrong. And again, it's a real simple process. When somebody's doing it wrong and you start doing it right, it doesn't take a lot of work and it doesn't take a lot of time to get in front of them. One of my specialties is bringing brand new dealerships into a very good traffic system, and I'll show you, an example of that in a few minutes. But pulling them in from no traffic at all to getting thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors a month, because most people are doing it wrong. So when you start from scratch, it's real simple. Now, when you've been established, you can still fix your website. Don't get me wrong, guys. But it's much easier when you stop doing the wrong things immediately and then you just start doing a cleanup job on your links. And so sometimes it does take a little bit longer. Maybe it's not done in a month where you see this huge impact. And that's why sometimes it takes a couple months. But the system being done right pays off huge, and then it's the marathon. It just continues to pour in good traffic month after month after month when you're doing it right. So here's how we do it. The first and simplest way is doing internal links. Now, what are internal links? It allows Google to go through your website and crawl your website and see all the different pages of your website. If you have pages with no links pointing to them, Google might not even index it and not even know it's there. It's kind of having a room in your house that you never go in and the door is shut. So we want to make sure that we're linking to all the pages in our website. So a good internal linking system is really critical. It also makes it easier for users to navigate your website. The more that you create links around your website, it proves that you have a lot of content, a lot of value to offer, and it gives people articles or information about certain vehicles to look at, and it gives them a way to punch through your website. And we all know that the more time they're punching through your website, the more time they're spending on the website, and that's a really great thing. So let's talk about an example of who does this the best. It's really hard to do a search these days and not find Wikipedia at the top of the search results. And one of the best reasons why they do that is because of internal linking. Now, I went through and spent a couple minutes here just pointing arrows at every single link that they have. And again, I just typed in used cars as an example. And obviously there's a movie made a number of years ago. But I didn't even get down to the plot where I put one single arrow before I probably had like 20 links. pointing to other websites. And again, on the left side of this here, you don't even have to look at the Wikipedia main page contents, featured content. Those are all links too on that left sidebar. But this is just internally on this page. There's 20 links. And again, that's before they even scrolling down where the plot, and there's, it just gets much, much worse. So do you see a couple links? Do you see why this idea makes sense? Why linking might, send people to different pages? So if somebody lands on used cars and they say, oh, Robert Zemeckis, I remember him. What other movies did he do? And they click on that link. Next thing you know, they're looking at, his whole bio, and there's a whole bunch more links. And then they click on, oh, well, he did this movie. They click on that link. Before they know it, somebody's wasted 5 minutes on the site. Google loves that. Step number 2 is social media links. So these links are priceless, guys. I can't give you enough information about social media links and the importance. Really what we want to do is we want to make sure that we post a lot of share-worthy content on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google+, all these different social media, YouTube, oh my gosh, YouTube, the number 2 search engine in the world. We want to make sure we've got good quality video content going up on there. And then, of course, obviously what we want to do is make sure that it links back to our website. And the key here is we get frequent user engagement that way. User engagement becomes a really important piece in how we build a fan base. We want to make sure that we're wowing them with content and consistency. Consistently do it, guys. That's the key, is don't put up one post on your blog or one post on Facebook and then disappear for 3 weeks. We want to make sure that we are doing this on a daily basis or at least a few times a week, and thou shalt be rewarded handsomely, I promise you. There is no question that one of the best ways to drive traffic to our website is with social media, but Google loves seeing those links. They index all those links back to your website, and the more that you have from those good quality websites like Facebook, like Google, Google Plus, like YouTube, Twitter, Yelp, all these things, they pay off handsomely for us. So we want to focus on the big 3 to start. Facebook obviously is your number 1 target. Facebook's bigger than anything nowadays, so we want to make sure we start to master that. YouTube, like I said, is the number 2 search engine in the world, guys. In the world. Obviously, it's owned by Google as well. So is there any better reason than to start putting video content on YouTube other than Google owns it? But let's just go back to the fact that they are also the number 2 search engine in the world. And then Twitter. Yeah, Twitter's suffering. Don't get me wrong, guys, but it's a great place to have a lot of links pointing back to your website, and it's still, in Google's eyes, a very credible website. And they know that there's not, because they haven't been able to successfully monetize Twitter yet, they know that there's not, not a lot of garbage advertising on there. So the more information that you can put up there, the better. So that brings us to, and I apologize, guys. I have a home office. We're putting an addition on my house, so if you hear some noise right now, it's that, and I can't beat the man building my house. He's got to do his thing, and we had a time here set for the webinar, and they couldn't take the break. So, which brings us to step 3, which again is user engagement. So it's all about the user. And it's all about making sure the more people that engage with our website through comments, links, and shares, the higher our site's going to rank. So what we want to do is put in engaging content that people are going to be interested in. And again, it doesn't have to be all automotive based. It could be talking about Valentine's Day. It could talk about Earth Day. It could talk about a local event. If you have a local parade that goes through. If you're a sponsor of a Little League team and you find out that they won the championship, post about that stuff. Get engaged with the community. That's who's coming to buy your cars. It's not, forget about the national media, these viral marketing schemes that I got 1 million hits on YouTube. That's great, but how many of them are going to be shoppers, right? How many of them are going to be walking into your dealership today or in the next month looking for a new car? It's much better to have 50 raving fans, people that are loyal to your brand, than 1 million hits of people that will never step near your dealership. All right, so think about that for a couple minutes. Let's get people engaged with our dealership. And the way to do that is get engaged with your local community. Only the hot spots go at the top of Google. So again, it is about being a popularity contest with Google. The more engagement, the more, they're tracking how many likes you get, I promise you. So the more engagement, the more, more good quality links or likes and comments and they're going to put you on the hot spot in Google. And the hot spot means top 1, 2, and 3. All right, that's where we want to be. Top 3 spots every single time on Google. So let's make your website a place to hang out. It all comes down to good quality content, as I just mentioned. Encourage people to social share and comment. The best thing you can do is say, hey, What do you think about this post? What do you think about this video? Share it. Will you share it? Ask people to do things. You'll be amazed at how much extra sharing and commenting you'll get when you actually ask people to do it. So you definitely want to make sure that you ask, and then use engagement tools, guys. There's a lot of different tools out there that, this is about SEO today and driving traffic, so I'm not going to talk social media as much, but you want to find as many tools as you can that make sharing your content easily. You want to make sure that you can post to multiple platforms easily, and there's a lot of engagement tools out there. And increase dwell time. So you may not know this, but dwell time is how much time people spend on your site when they land on it before jumping out. This is very different than bounce rate. Bounce rate is just about hitting the back button. Now, if somebody spends 5 minutes on your website and hits the back button, if they only went on one page, well, guess what? That bounce is 100%, even if they just spent 5 minutes on your site and they only landed on one page. So don't worry about bounce rate. Worry about dwell time. How much time do people spend on your site before they go back to Google and do another search? Google is tracking this, I promise you. So how do we increase that time? Well, we track it with analytics, first of all. We see what pages are getting the most visits, drive traffic to those pages. One of my dealers loves to send people to SRPs. I would rather send them directly to the home page, because I know that they're going to have to then click to see the inventory after that. It's a philosophy you guys can debate on your own. I'm not going to tell you how to run your dealership. I just know that if somebody lands on an SRP page, again, they might look at that car and it might be the right one or it might not be the right one. I'm more about driving them to the home page, so they have to hit an inventory button. Then they see how many F-150s I have on my lot, and then they can pick the right color. If I take them directly to a blue F-150 and they're not looking for blue, then they might hit that back button, or they might accidentally hit that back button rather than looking at the other inventory. So I like to send them to the inventory pages first. But I learned that by looking at my analytics. And then organize your site structure with internal linking and making sure that people are going to the right pages. Find out what pages they're going to and link from those pages to other pages in your website that might be more important but aren't getting as much traffic. So if you find that your blog is getting a lot of traffic, but you obviously want to get them into your inventory, put some links from your blog into your inventory, or put links to your inventory in your blog pages and drive them there. Or if you know that you've got a Kia Optima as your number one mover on the lot, but you want to sell some of the new Kia Niros, well, hey, let's make sure that we have a link to that Niro from our Optima SRP page saying, hey, other shoppers have looked at these other vehicles in inventory. Really simple stuff. Google tracks it, but more importantly, your visitors might. So give them reasons to come back often. Obviously, it's more difficult with car dealers, but let them know that you have a lot of incentives, and your incentives probably do change monthly. If they don't, they should, and you might even have a couple different incentives per month. So if somebody's always looking for a deal and you've got these tire kickers that might not come in, let them know that our incentives change often. For some people, cashback's big. Some people, 0% is big. Sometimes it's a warranty program. People have different reasons for coming back to the dealership. Just having a 0% all the time is great, but if somebody's looking for a warranty, 0% might not matter at all to them. So we want to make sure we give them the right incentive. So key takeaways from pillar number 2, get your site's internal linking in order, encourage user engagement, establish presence on those big 3 social giants. And it all comes down to this. It's user experience is the new SEO. All right, so if you haven't figured that out yet, get involved with your people. Google wants to make sure that user experience is right with the website. If you're doing that right, you'll always be on the top of the search engines. And that actually kind of leads into pillar number 3, which is reputation management. Now, this is kind of a new thing. It's really taken off in the past couple of years. But reputation's your online salesman or saleswoman, salesperson. It's really about making sure that your reputation online is credible and it's rewarding. When you see a reputation that's damaged with, these salespeople screwed me over, blah, 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 it's brutal. So guard it with vigilance. It's also social proof. It's what people think of you. How many times do people go onto Facebook and say, hey, where should I go for this, that, or the other thing? If you see that your dealership has a 5-star rating, it's a heck of a lot better than a 2-star rating. And, people are looking for that kind of, social engagement, that kind of, proof. That's why Amazon does really, really well with reviews. And people always look to see what the best products are on Amazon by their reviews. So the popular kids, again, gain more popularity popularity. It's the same thing, guys. If you're getting good quality reviews, then you're going to get a lot of good activity. So reviews people leave on Google, Facebook, Cars, Dealer.com, Dealer Rater, etc. These are really critical. I'll show you the difference in a few minutes here of how much a good quality review impacts people's SEO, and more importantly, the number of reviews that you get. So people go into Google, they tell Google exactly what they like and how much they like it, or they don't when they're doing these reviews. Google looks at this as gold. They make all their money on people going to their search engine and clicking on links. So if they find that somebody's giving a really crappy service, I assure you, they're not going to try and get you up high in the search engine results so that people can go to you, because then when they have a bad experience with you, they're just going to systematically say, oh, well, Google sent me to those people, so Google isn't great. Google wants to protect their brand, their reputation, by making sure that they're sending people to the right places. So Google's going to simply take their word for it, and this is one of the challenges Google's trying to work on right now, guys, is making sure that fake reviews aren't going up too much. I know that a lot of people are worried about their competitors going in, and look, I see it every day where a competitor, salesman goes on to one of my clients' dealership, reviews and types in what a horrible experience it is. But I've got a tool that will actually help you figure out how to avoid that. It's actually pretty cool. It really stacks the negative reviews to the side and only posts the good positive reviews. But we'll get into that in a minute. But Google, at the end of the day, has to take their word for it because they weren't there. So when somebody posts a review, it's gold in their eyes, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's not. And this has a snowball effect. When people pile on with good, positive information, then other people will too. And more likely, if you find one bad review, another one is going to quickly come on and say, "Oh yeah, I had a terrible time there too." And John tried to screw me over, by getting me in the back room, and the F&I was brutal, blah blah blah. We want to make sure that we give a good quality user experience. It's the new SEO, and we want to make sure that everything is powerful. So, which method is better? Talking about your own awesomeness, or having a group of people talk about your awesomeness to someone else? It's a no-brainer, right? You barking in a room about how great you are, or 5 guys telling you how great you are, it's obviously going to be huge in SEO because Google's looking at those numbers. They're looking not only at their reviews, but they're looking at the reviews that go up on Dealer Rater. They're looking at the reviews that go on Cars. They're looking at the reviews that go on Facebook, everywhere. So let me give you an example. On the left-hand side here, you guys have seen this type of search. Again, I use Philadelphia. I did Chevy Dealers Philadelphia. The first 2 are obviously ads, which are beneficial. But you look at the next three down. So those are your organic positions: Chapman, Gordon, and Armin. Now, you can see in the middle here, I'm that little star, that star right there, Chesterbrook area. I am nowhere near any of these dealerships, really, but Armin Chevrolet is the closest one to me. Well, guess what? Armin Chevrolet is on the bottom. How many reviews do they have? 52. You look at Gordon Chevrolet, who's pretty darn far from me because they're literally by the river over there. That's about an hour away from me. They're the second one, 194 reviews, and at 3.6. But again, Chapman, who is down in the bottom in the southern part of Philadelphia, again, about 45 minutes away from me, is 219 reviews and a 4.1 ranking. But they showed up number 1. Now, again, they weren't the closest. You'll see the Prestige and Briner Chevrolet are not even mentioned on this here. Shows the power of a good quality number of reviews and the power of getting good quality reviews in themselves. So 3 steps to building a reputation that brings in leads on autopilot. So number 1, give a great experience. I mean, it sounds obvious, but it works, guys. Don't treat prospects like a number. When they come on the dealership floor, make sure that you're talking to them, not to the number, this is up number 5 for John the salesperson today. This is Bill buying his new Ford or his new Toyota Highlander. He's in there for a reason. Are you actually talking to him why he's buying it? How's it going to make him feel when he buys it? Is he buying it for work? Is it going to make it important for him to show up in a new Mercedes? Is it important for him to just get an A to B? Like, what's he buying it for? Let's get behind just the facts that we were worried about numbers. How many good quality visits did we get today? don't view ups as a means to reach your sales target. So many times I sit in meetings and guys are like, oh, well, I got to have 300 ups every day, or every month to make sure that I'm hitting my numbers. Well, why? Why? Oh, well, because I have sales targets to reach. Of course you do. But let's be honest, if you're doing a good job and you're taking care of everybody and every single person that comes in is getting a good quality experience, you're not trying to screw them over on price, you're not trying to screw them over in the back room, guess what they're going to do? They're going to get a good quality experience and they're going to go post about it. They're going to give a good review about it and they're going to tell people about it. And so that one prospect turns into multiple prospects and that one sale turns into multiple sales. And before you know it, guys, you're helping them reach their goals, but your sales goals and targets will take care of themselves. It's really simple, and I can't tell you how many car dealers are like, oh, well, it's about money, and I know it's a numbers game. Sales is about numbers. I got to reach a lot of you guys to get, a lot of you guys are going to just watch this and never do business with me in any way, shape, or form. I understand that, but that's why I'm here providing free value. Free value. I'm not expecting any money in return. If I get it, it's great. But I want to make sure that I'm the go-to resource. I'm the SEO guy for car dealers. I want to be the number one guy in the SEO market for Philadelphia, for automotive dealers, and then beyond. And I'll show you, it's not just Philadelphia that I'm trying to dominate. Don't be pushy. Destroy the negative perception. We all know that car salesmen are notorious for being pushy because they have numbers. They got people to feed. They got bosses like you guys pushing them to say, hey, how many ups did you close today? Most people run away scared at the very idea of talking to a car salesman. That's why chats become popular anymore. People don't even want to come to the dealership. They want to chat online. They don't even want to pick up the phone and call because they're worried about getting hammered by phone calls and the like. So people are hitting chat on websites to find out the information about car. People are terrified. Let's change that. That's not how businesses are done. You don't find that really anywhere else. You don't find pushy salespeople in too many places. You don't go to the grocery store and have somebody chasing down the aisles, pushing out avocados at you, do you? No, because you're looking for a different experience. You want to sell them, but people don't get sold. They buy. You buy things when you go out and buy any products or services. Don't be sold. Don't allow your salespeople to sell. Help their customers buy. That's a mindset shift that I think is really incredible. Let your competition play that game of being pushy. Let's really try and find an end goal, a result for our ups that allows them to find the car they're looking for, that's in their price range, that gives them a good experience, that reaches their goal. Let's let the other guys sell let's try and sell the last piece of crap on our lot to somebody else. Let somebody else do that. It's really not the way we want to do it. Be savvy. Do the exact opposite of what everybody else is doing. There's a reason other people hit their numbers, guys. There's a reason that people are crushing it, and there's a reason that people aren't. If you're not hitting your numbers today, it's because you haven't been playing the game the right way in the beginning. So let's learn to do it right now. So differentiate or die. Become that niche. Become that guy that's not like other car dealers. Let's not have a no pressure hype or any shenanigans type of business. I know that there are competitors out there that literally this is their advertising message. If you can integrate a little bit of it into your messaging, it doesn't have to mean copying them, but if you can integrate a little bit, it can make a world of difference to your business. So don't force anything on them. Let buyers make a decision. And if they want, they'll buy, I promise you. And they will rave about you to their fans. So don't be pushy. The next part, the most important part, is ask for feedback. Don't be pushy about it. Don't beg for it. Just ask for feedback. Politely ask for the feedback at the end of the deal. Did you have a good experience? Did you find the inventory you were looking for? Did you enjoy the coffee that we provided you through the service? Did you have a good time? Were the salespeople pushy, or were they friendly? Were they providing you with the information you were looking for? Hey, if so, would you mind just giving us a quick review? Don't stalk them. Don't harass them. Don't beat them up over this review. If you can make their experience great, that's what we want to do. It will automatically happen, but even if it's an okay experience, a lot of times all you have to do is politely ask. Your only goal is to give them a great experience, and everything else will take care of itself. Rest assured, whatever their experience is, they will tell the world if it's a great experience or if it's not. You might as well try and turn the odds in your favor by making it a good, positive experience and then politely asking for that review. So what do positive reviews do? They're going to take you to the top. To recap, the 3 SEO pillars are: pillar number 1, target local keywords; pillar number 2, link building done right; pillar number 3, reputation management, give them a great experience. So what about you? let's talk about you guys for a second, guys. You know that SEO works, right? You know that at the end of the day, you need to be doing a better job with SEO. If you're anything like me, here's some things that are probably true about you. You're sitting at your computer right now. You're listening to this webinar. You know that SEO works, and you know that SEO works when it's done right. And you know that if you use SEO in your business, it's probably going to do well for your business, and it's going to make things happen. Now, the fastest way I know to get guys to the top of Google without struggling for years on page 6 and 7 is to get the help of someone who has done it before, and someone with a proven track record of ranking even in the most competitive niches. And that's why I've got something great for you guys right now. If you're looking for more leads, if you're looking for more revenue, if you're looking to take more vacations, which I know you all are, if you're absolutely looking to crush your competition, without paying big dollars to SEO agencies or marketing agencies, I have something for you. Again, having to pay outrageous amounts of money to SEO agencies or fancy digital marketing companies is not something that you should want to do. And what you're going to want to do now is listen up, because I've been on the inside. Again, I started working with a full service ad agency. I know their schemes. I know exactly what they've done, and I'm going to show you the exact process how to avoid it. It's not fair, but it is what it is. All they care about is their monthly billing. You won't see results or hear from them for months, and when you try to cancel, suddenly everybody in the agency starts calling you. I've been there. I've done it, guys. It's brutal. But fortunately for you, now that you are aware of how this whole system works, you don't have to go down that route. What you have to do is want to learn, and you have to want to work with the right guys. So I'm going to show you the exact process that I use, and again, it's to help you understand that how I bring websites to the top of local search listings fast, even if they're in a new competing industry with established players, a new market. It's a bulletproof system, and I'm going to show you how I crush it. So let me know. I mean, do you want more leads? Do you want more referrals? Do you want happier customers? Do you want more revenue? Do you want a 7-figure business? Are you getting crystal clear about what you want? Because when we do business, guys, the first thing that I start to do is I do market research on my clients. I want to get crystal clear on what you want. Are you looking for leads? Are you more looking for revenue? Are you looking for finally breaking into the 6 or 7 figure level for yourself, or for the dealership? In what time frame? How much revenue do you want to generate? Where do you want to rank in Google? Are you number 5 right now and you need to be number 1? Or are you ranking for some keywords but not ranking for others? This is the mathematics part of the process that I'm going to do a lot of homework on, and we're going to have numbers. We're going to set goals. We're going to have fun with math. And then we're going to break them down and reverse engineer them to bite-sized chunks that can be accomplished in a short term. So I'm going to figure out what the demographics are, what the needs are, what your wants and desires are, what your fears are, your frustrations are. I find out what makes your team tick, what makes you tick, and that's also what we want to do with our clients. As an up comes on the floor, we want to know who they are, what their needs are, what their wants are, what their desires are. Are they afraid of looking, afraid the boss is going to think they're not driving a nice enough car? Are they frustrated because the check engine light keeps staying on their current car? What's making them tick? So what we're going to do is dive into your market and figure out your demographic, your needs, your wants, your desires, all those things. It's Market Research 101. And then we're going to come up with a plan of attack. We're going to focus on your keywords, making sure that we have the right keywords. We're targeting those local keywords, and we're dominating for the right keywords. We're going to work on your ad text, not only for your Google ads, but for your Facebook ads. I can't tell you how important this stuff is, guys, that we get the right images, the right ad text, the right videos going for the website, everything. It's all a key component in your brand, and most people just, they let somebody that's not familiar with car dealerships go, and they say, all right, well, you get marketing, I need traffic, drive people to me. And they don't understand that so much of this nowadays is about doing the right Facebook ads, about doing the right SEO and targeting the right keywords. Again, somebody going out and typing in, used cars is a lot less likely to be a buyer quickly than somebody that's going out there and types in 2008, Toyota Highlander, XL. they're looking very specifically for a vehicle, and if you have that inventory, that's what we want to show for, and we want to make sure that we're targeting our SEO for those particular keywords and that we show up, because used car is going to go through a much longer funnel than somebody that's looking for a 2008 Toyota Highlander, XL with moonroof. It's just plain and simple. One's ready to buy and has already done most of their homework. The other one is just starting to think that they might need a new car. So after we've done our behind-the-scenes research, we figure out the best method to reach your clients and devise a plan of attack. We're going to conduct behind-the-scenes research, find out those keywords and all that stuff. And once we know what your audience is looking for, and most importantly, what they're searching for, what they want, we devise that plan to get out in front of them. That's that good old advertising. So how do we do it? With our implementation plan. It's going to be a combination of PPC, social reputation, landing pages, autoresponders, scripts, sales funnel optimization, and yes, of course, SEO. This is where we dive deep into the nitty-gritty of digital marketing and build out traffic systems that deliver a steady stream of leads to your business day after day, guys, month after month, year after year. And we're going to focus on those core components. Again, it's the blocking and tackling, having an email or autoresponder when somebody visits your website and fills out a form, having right scripts and sales funnels for your staff. So many times people they get an email saying, "Hey, look, I'm interested in this particular car." Somebody in their phone bank picks up the phone and I've got the best internet team in the world, and these guys are making nothing. They don't know a script from the side of a wall. They pick up the phone and they say, "Hey, yeah, you called about this car. What's up?" That's not how you sell a car. We need to have a script that first off says, "Hey, were you calling about our sale? Did you know that we have this? Do you know that we have that? Well, let's talk about the car that you were interested in. Why are you interested in it? What are you looking for? What's the goal?" A script helps sell, helps close, more importantly, helps get people onto the dealership floor. We want to make sure that, again, the whole point of this, guys, is turning prospects into customers. We don't want to make sure that, we don't want to beat people over the head with the wrong marketing messages. We have two phases. The first game is quick revenue generation, right? We want to make sure that we're doing sales. We're building our business and we're bringing people into our dealership. But we also need to make sure that it's a consistent stream of revenue. We want to make sure that it's not a 1 month direct mail burst that hits and then we're all of a sudden dry for the next 2 months. So we want to bring in a couple customers with our first phase, and that's what we do. We help you guys drive a number. We're going to have a great month the first month, but what we're going to do is we're going to dedicate a lot of that income into phase 2, and that's where automation and revenue maximization comes in. So we're going to do the key components. We're going to get the pay-per-click going. We're going to get the Facebook ads going. We're going to get the SEO going. But the next step, again, is the sales scripts, the automation, making sure that when people do this, there's automatically emails going out, and there's a continuity system that sends 10 emails to these people while they're in market and talks about the different capabilities of our dealership, the different reviews that we highlight and send to them, why you guys are different and better, and how to really maximize your revenue. Maybe if somebody was looking for a vehicle, maybe we show them the next bigger model, the one that's going to bring in a little bit more revenue to our dealership. But it's about converting them from a prospect into a client. So, the second phase really is about building that pipeline for your business and bringing in more leads to the business. It's not just that first quick jolt. We're using the cash generated from previous clients and investing it into advertising to get even more clients. Brings in new leads, new sales funnels. And again, we're doing this through targeting our existing leads by email and content marketing and the like. And you know what happens after that, guys? It sounds great, but does it work? Well, here's an example. This is my personal situation. Again, my company is 814 Interactive. I have a couple different websites, im814.com and 814automotiveseo.com. If somebody's looking for automotive SEO in Philadelphia, guess where they're finding it? Right? I'm not only the number 1 spot, I'm the top 3 spots. I love the number 4 slot because that's where I used to work. I used to work for a full-service ad agency, and that's the one that I used to work for. And being on top of them is a really nice feeling, I assure you. But more importantly, having 3 spots on top of them, it's great. And hey, that I don't practice. I practice what I preach. I don't tell people how things are going to be and then not do them myself. Everything that I'm telling you to do today, guys, I do myself. I also am starting starting to target for other cities. It's a lot harder, obviously, when I'm doing it outside of Philadelphia to be number one. But when you look at ad agencies here, I'm doing pretty darn good if you look at it. I'm number 3 in New York, where that's the ad agency mecca. I'm number 3, and again, we're talking about DealerTrend and Conductor.com. Not really concerned about those two when somebody's looking for a personalized experience. I'm sharing an article about how to future-proof your automotive SEO in New York. And I got to the number 3 slot. How did I do it in San Fran? Well, I'm doing it the same thing. LocalSEOshop.com. It sounds a little generic to me. It doesn't sound like a personalized ad agency. That's something that really is what I do well. I'm really good at getting new clients that just started out. And let me give you an example of that. So, how about a car dealership, Allentown Kia, and I appreciate guys, if you're on the line listening, I appreciate you being my role model here, example. So they opened up in February of 2016. This is their first 6 months of traffic. I don't want to get too deep into it. This is, again, their organic traffic. If you look at it from January 1st through August 31st. And again, you'll see in February they really didn't have anything. Then again, it just slowly grows. And I promise you it kept growing. But again, I'm trying to not show too much of their stuff, nor would I like to share too much of your stuff with other clients. I do take clients very, very personally, and I don't want to share your information with others. They did some custom stuff that jumped them up afterwards, but I didn't want to share exactly what we did with them because, again, I'm going to do a custom SEO plan for you. But how is this for 6 months of growth, right? They went from 0 to about 3,500 visits organically in traffic. Now, I know some car dealerships that get 3,500 a month in total. That includes their direct, that includes their paid traffic. This is just organic traffic. How would that work for you? Another good example here, they're number 1 for Kia dealer in Pennsylvania. Now, for all of you guys that are familiar with the states, Pennsylvania is a pretty darn big state, and they're number 1 for Kia dealer PA. Again, this is a search I did. I'm in Philadelphia. As you can see, they're number 1. They're not even in my map. Obviously the local map is going to be a little different, but the number 1 organic listing is Kia dealer PA, is Allentown Kia. And again, I apologize about the noise, guys. So where do we show up here? I talk about Allentown Kia and how the importance of being all the right places. Again, we're doing an ad for them, as you can see, a Google paid search ad. They are the number 1 organic listing, but we also see that we're doing reviews. If you look on the right sidebar here, you'll see that they've got 109 reviews with a 4.8 ranking. And if you look at the second organic result, it's a DealerRater result, but it shows for them, that they've got 4.9 rating with 123 reviews. That's a lot of reviews in 6 months there, guys. They're crushing it. So it's all about doing the things that we talked about. They were lucky enough to be the Dealer of the Year for DealerRater, and again, it's all about the reviews. Are they number 1 for more than one search term? Of course they are, guys. PA Kia dealer, Lehigh Valley Kia, Kia dealer PA, Kia dealer Allentown, Pennsylvania Kia dealer. They're all number 1 for those things. And it's not just today, it's been, but it's about building and targeting for the right keyword. So again, I know we're short on time, so I'm going to let you guys go in a few minutes, but I want to talk real quick about a win-win solution of more traffic, more prospects, more customers, more profit. Results like this aren't anything out of the ordinary for me, guys. It's not magic. All I do is follow a process that I listed above. I generate revenue and use that revenue to build automated systems for my clients, and the leads just keep rolling in long after we stop building new pipelines. It is a win-win, and I've done it for businesses like yours. And if you want, I can do that for you as well. So what's to do next? So if you'd like to talk further, guys, the best way to do it is schedule a phone call. You can see im814.com/webinar. If you type that in, that'll give you direct access to my calendar and to schedule a 30-minute call. What we're going to do is we're going to discuss your business. I promise, this is not a pitch fest, guys. I'm in the business of helping people, being a resource. I'm going to give you some take it or leave it advice. Again, if you take it and leave me, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm happy to have the conversation. I do want to make sure that you understand that there's going to be 2 options with this call, all right? And it's real simple. The first is you go out on your own and you do your own thing. We have a discussion. I give you the whole enchilada, no hype, no pressure, no shenanigans, the overall funnel that I recommend. And if you want to run with it on your own, you absolutely go and do that. The second is going to be more of a profitable partnership where you generate more revenue for your business with the systems that I run. And again, I'm not a one-time only guy. You can either walk away and implement that advice that I give you, or after I give you that concrete advice and you see the value in the plan of action and you decide, hey, you know what, this guy Adam and his team are going to do what's right for me. Great. We go over the finer details of how things will go and devise a bulletproof plan and of how to attack and dominate your competition and rank, real high and take in the lion's share of your market's revenue. This is where I'll use all my SEO and digital marketing prowess and go to work for your business. That's what it's all about. Our initial goal would be to bring in a whole bunch of new clients and generate some extra cash flow. Maybe we get an extra 10 to 15 clients per month to start with, and then we use that influx of cash and further beef up your marketing channels to build an automated machine that just keeps bringing in those new leads while maximizing revenue from the existing leads. And we do this being nice and cool to your market without doing anything shady. So customers are not only happy that they bought from you, but they'll also rave about you and tell their friends and family and in general anybody who would listen what it's all about. So go to that link to see my schedule and it'll give you an opportunity to take a no obligation consultation. And after discussing, again, if I feel that our partnership would be a win-win for both of us, I'd be more than happy to work with you. And if not, I'll let you know up front, listen, I don't think I can help you with your goals right now, or I'm not the right person to help you with what you're looking for, and I'll recommend you to somebody else that I think can. However, if we do work together, it'll be a fruitful partnership that you can will prove to be a springboard for your business to explode later, I promise. But you have to act right away because due to the personal and hands-on nature of this offer, I can't really take on a ton of clients. I can only work with a handful of clients. So there's only so many of us here at the dealership or at the agency, and there's only one of me to go around. So if you procrastinate, I'm gonna just unfortunately have to tell you that you missed out. So if you miss out, you miss out. I'm not sure when or if I'll be opening the doors to this kind of offer again, but I do want to tell you that it would be a good idea to act now because I know that I'm going to get a bunch of calls from this, and again, schedule a convenient time and we'll take advantage of the details of your business and how to maximize those. So here's the time. Questions, guys? Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, but if you want, type your questions in the chat box. I'll address them right now, and if you have anything else that's on your mind, let's certainly pick up the phone and call, or let's address them real quick.